A576, man. I want to talk about the Showtime rolling out the nice little event they had. I didn't was having it. I just happened to catch it. I happened to look on my phone and look at some of my my videos on there, and that video was on there. Um, it was, man, it's a nice thing that they had. They had fighters that are about to fight on the same stage. They had a lot of all their top fighters on the stage. The only guy I didn't see there was I didn't see um Sean Porter. If I'm mistaken, if anybody seen Sean Porter there, my bad, but I didn't see Sean Porter on the stage. But man, they got some good fights coming up, man. They got Figueroa versus Broner. I got Figueroa beating Broner. Broner did change his corner, man, from Mike Stafford to Cunningham, the guy that trains Devin Alexander. So he's down in Florida training with Cunningham. I mean, he says it's gonna make a difference. I don't think the trainer is the problem with Broner. I just think it's Broner and not being disciplined. Broner and wanting to do other things other than box. It's cool to do other little things on the side, but most of your time has to be spent with the sport that you're trying to be a master in. It's hard to master the sport of boxing. Very few people even came remotely close. So he needs to either be a rapper or a boxer. You know what I'm saying? You can't be both. You can't divide or what I'm saying, have 50-50 on both. So I mean, I got Broner losing to Figueroa, man. Figueroa gonna end up stopping Broner, man. So because one thing about Figueroa, he throw a lot of punches. When people throw a lot of punches at Broner, he just frees up in the Philly shell defense. He doesn't use his legs, and he just sits there. He gets outpointed. And one thing about Figueroa is a big 140-pound fighter. He's rangy. He has punches from all different type of angles. I just see Figueroa just beating Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who y'all got, but I got Figueroa beating Adrian Broner. And then Laura versus Jared Hurd. That's gonna be another good one. Jared Hurd is big for 154 pounds. I don't know how that man makes 154 pounds. He is kind of slightly built. You know what I'm saying? He is kind of a his bottom half of his body, his legs are not that big, so that's probably why he makes it. He looks like he about 6'2", 6'3". I don't. He said he want the lower fight, and after this fight, if he wins this fight, he want one of the Charlos. I guess that the other Charlo is it Jamel that's at 154. I always get them guys mixed up, but he wants the Charlo before he moves up, and this lower fight with him. See, the only thing about Jared Hurd, I know Jared Hurd. He's a come forward slugger. He keeps his face in the air. Um, Laura is a precision puncher. If Laura don't let her break him down, it's a good chance Laura wins the fight. But I want Jared Hurd to win the fight because Laura, he had like he don't want to fight none of the Charlos. Jared Hurd is down to fighting the Charlo brother. So I want I Laura can win the fight because Jared Hurd, he does come forward with his chin in the air, man. He can break down Laura, but Laura moves so much and so crafty in the ring that I don't know if he will be able to break him down just by, trying to walk him down. He will have to walk him down with a jab. Now, if Jared Hurd brings his jab, his double jab, and sometimes try to triple the jab, Jared Hurd can be very successful in winning the fight versus Laura. But he can fall into the trap of just trying to chase Laura around and getting hit, and he just can't win the fight like that. But that's a great fight. I'm going with Hurd in that fight. Deontay Wilder and Ortiz. I got Deontay Wilder. Ortiz, he does have boxing skills. To me, he does present a good challenge for Deontay Wilder. But Ortiz is, he been caught cheating what 2-3 times now, man. And guys that rely on that, man, once you take it away from them, do they have the same confidence? That's what I worry about. I worry about if Ortiz will have the same confidence without using a extra motivation as far as illegal substance. So I got Deontay Wilder. As long as Deontay Wilder uses jab, he should be okay. He got a nice right hand, and he's a great athlete. So I got Deontay Wilder winning that fight. It could be a tricky fight for Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder, if he stay disciplined behind his jab and just let his power just flow naturally, he should win the fight. Don't try to force his power. He should win the fight. Fight behind his jab. Fight behind his power. Okay. I'm lying, I'm lying. So, what? It's another good fight. Abdul Mares and Leo Santa Cruz too. Adam Mares has another trainer. This is like what his third trainer, man. Adam Mares moves around with trainers, man. And after a while, it has to be the fighter, not the trainer, because the common denominator is the fighter just moving around. Leo Santa Cruz and Abdul Mares. The first fight, I just thought Leo Santa Cruz just outworked Adam Mares, outworked him, outpunched him. It was a good fight. It was a good in your face fight, but I just thought Leo Santa Cruz won the fight. Now, Abdamare said he's gonna throw different wrinkles in this second fight. He's gonna fight different than he fought in the first fight. He has to show me in the ring that he can fight different. But right now, I'm gonna go with Leo Santa Cruz in that fight. You got Brandon Rios and Danny Garcia. I got Danny Garcia in that fight. Brandon Rios is a come forward straight fighter, yes, but he's tailor made for Danny Garcia to look impressive, and maybe Danny Garcia can possibly stop him. Hey, I'm live, so y'all be quiet up in there. So he probably can possibly stop Rios. To me, it'll be an exciting fight as long as it lasts. Um, what's another fight that was on there? I know one of the Charlo brothers is fighting somebody. I don't even know that guy, so I don't want to even break down that fight. I'm gonna go with the Charlo brother on that. It was some more fights on there. Oh, Keith Thurman got a May date. Keith Thurman coming back in May. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see who he's gonna fight. They haven't announced that. You got Earl Spence fighting in Dallas. He deserves a fight in his hometown. You know what I'm saying? He went to Carol Brooks' country and fought. He just got done beating Lamont Peterson in impressive fashion. So yes, he deserves a fight in his home state, his home city. So yes, it's big ups to Earl Spence getting a fight in his hometown. I know it's a he has to fight. It's mandatory. The IBF they don't play with they mandatory. So he got to fight his mandatory, and hopefully him and Keith Thurman can meet up fairly soon. Get the fans, people out there to see what they want to see. Keith Thurman did speak. Charlemagne asked Keith Thurman. Everybody talking about the Spence fight. He said, "Don't worry, it's going to happen." He told Radio Raheem it's going to happen. See, I don't know how many times Keith Thurman got to say he's going to fight Earl Spence. Now the problem is the timeline. I know everybody have a problem with the timeline, but at this point, you should accept the timeline at this point because it can change because everything is subject to change. Keith Thurman can fight his warm-up, tune-up fight and say, man, I feel like I'm ready for the Earl Spence fight next. So everything is subject to change. Life is a ebb and flowing. Life don't always go how we think it's going to go. Sometimes we throw curves in there and things and you got to adapt. So maybe what I'm saying, Keith Thurman have his fight, and maybe he'll say, "Man, I'm ready for the Earl Spence fight next," and then we can get the Earl Spence fight after his tune-up fight. If not, we'll get his fight. We'll get his fight in 2009 with him and Earl Spence because the good scenario that we were just talking about, me with some of the other roundtable fellas, boxonologists in zone. We had several scenarios, and one of the scenarios was that possibly, Keith Thurman can have his warm up fight, Earl Spence gonna have his mandatory, and then because Sean Porter and Danny Garcia both want to fight Keith Thurman, we can have a scenario like this: have a same fight card with Keith Thurman and Earl Spence on it. One of them fighting Danny Garcia, one of them fighting Sean Porter. That way, Danny Garcia and Sean Porter both get their title shots. And then, if Keith Thurman and Earl Spence are successful in those fights, they fight early 19. They fight on the same card, and they announce that fight in the center of the ring. They both bring them back out, and they announce that fight. Do a little face off in the center of the ring. Have them each speak about it, and they announced that fight for early 2019. To me, that's a great scenario. You get Sean Porter and you get Danny Garcia out the way, so you can have a unified title bout. And to me, that's a great situation that can happen. We not only will we get two other additional good fights, then in 2019 we'll get the unification that everybody's been waiting for in 2019. This fight between Keith Thurman and Errol Spence will not be carried out over 5 to 7 years. You know, like the Mayweather Pacquiao fight. No, it's not going to happen like that. I know a lot of people saying they trying to make it like that. It's not going to happen like that. Showtime is serious about putting on competitive fights. Al Heyman is consistently putting on competitive fights. I don't think Al Heyman will allow these guys to duck each other because Al Heyman has done right by all these fighters under his banner. He's been overpaying these guys for fighting virtually nobody. These guys been getting $1 million, $2 million checks. So it's time for them to pay Al Heyman back and start giving him the matchups that he can have to make money off of these guys. So I feel like this. I feel like this fight. I feel like the fight between Keith Thurman and Errol Spence will happen. So, you know, eventually we have to be like men and stop being like little boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man said he's going to fight Errol Spence. He said he's going to fight Errol Spence. Until he show you otherwise, we should give Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman has earned, to me, has earned my respect for me, from when he said he's going to do something, that he does it. You know what I'm saying? So he has earned my respect. He has earned my I give him a lot of rope until he show me otherwise. So Keith Thurman never showed me that he's going to duck somebody, that he don't want to fight somebody. So until then, the man got my respect. Errol Spence is doing his thing. I like the way Errol Spence said that he's not going to wait on Keith Thurman. He's going to continue to fight. And to me, that's what Errol Spence should do. He should continue to fight. He should not wait on Keith Thurman at all. He should continue to fight and continue honing his skills. So when that fight with Keith Thurman comes, they both will be ready. And that's what I seen, man. Showtime had a great rollout, man. It was a great rollout of fighters, the champions. You seen guys with their belts. It just was a good thing, man. They showed that boxing is on the rise. They showed the comparison between all the other sports, major sports in the United States, and show how boxing has crept up. So, you know, as long as they continue putting on these fight cards, boxing can move up into the mainstream, man. Boxing is still a niche sport. It's still a niche sport. But they can, by what they're doing, even with Bob Arum having competitive fights on ESPN, because that Jeff Horn Crawford fight is going to be on ESPN. That's a great look. I like what Bob Arum doing. I like what all of them doing, man. Long as I'm with whoever put on great fight cards. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the dude next door to me. If anybody putting on a great fight card, I'm supporting it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna not support a great fight or a great fighter. So this is Boxing Talk 8576. Let me know what you think. I'm out.